Well, howdy tubers, back at it again. Of course, Sunday evening I left to go to my sister's so I could watch my dad yesterday. So now I am back on doing some things. I went and bought, or I'd ordered some plugs to go in the gascolator that were one on top there and one on this side that they didn't have a hex on top of them. They are countersunk with a Allen head. So I weighed them against the ones I was in there, and I saved 10 grams. So that was worth it. And so I got home from doing that and then got my fuel line on there. And no, it's not rubbing on the other side there. Of course, the intake's on there. And I know I had somebody message me about getting chips or something down inside the intake tube. Well, I'll let you know. And of course, before I put the carburetor on there, that I blew it out, blew everything out with air to make sure I didn't have any chips or anything in there before I put the carburetor on. So that's good. And I actually sat in it for the first time for less than a minute and are seeing if I could reach up here. Well, actually, I want to reach down here. I think I want to put my choke here, but I was going to get in there again, but I thought, well, maybe I ought to go ahead and get my seat all fixed up first, because I went ahead and drilled all those holes and flanged them. And I just had a message from Paul. I believe he's building a Hummel bird, and he asked me to take a picture of the bottom of the engine a little bit ago, so I did that. And then he was telling me how he was going to stop here on his way back from California, but then his dog got sick, and so I asked him how his dog was doing, and we've been texting back and forth, and I thought that I could maybe get a video in here real quick. So anyway, so I will be working on that, and that's what I set on since I didn't have the seat. Of course, I still had to make a pad, but I guess I still want to get that seat in there. And here's the bracket to attach the seat to the floor. So I think I'll go ahead and do that before I drill the hole there for my choke. And I haven't, until I can get in there, I guess a little better, I haven't figured out. I'm going to make my own throttle with a friction lock on it, so that because I thought that the throttle cables that you get like from Aircraft Spruce or something, they're a little bit on the heavy side. So I thought, but I already went ahead and bought two of these choke cables. The other one's down there. That's the one but I'm hoping that after I cut that for the choke and get it fitted, that the remainder of that line, I guess we'll call it, cable, will be long enough to go in here for my for my throttle. And then I'm going to make a lever, like I say, a friction lock lever for my throttle knob. Also, I may get around to seeing about getting this set on there, and then get the nose bowl going. I still got to put the oil line on here for your oil cooler slash oil cooler slash carb heat, which is kind of nifty little deal. Because that warms up the intake tubes. Although, you know, all these airplane guys will say, well, yeah, but the ice forms in the venturi of the carburetor, which on my first one, I only had an issue with possible carb ice one time. I was coming in to land, and I gave a little power to stretch it a little bit, and it just kind of coughed a little, and so I come on in and landed and called the guys at the airport, and they said, sound like carb ice, and took off and flew back and never had any more problem with carb ice. So it's, if that's what it was, and it didn't, and the engine ran fine since then, so it wasn't, well, I mean, other problems, but it wasn't carb ice, or if that was carb ice, well, it just cleared it out and good to go. So that's what I'm up to today. Oh, yeah. I was going to show you this too. Let me pause. I also thought I was going to go ahead and hook up the brakes. Well, the stick is 3/4 inch diameter, and I believe the hole in here is 1 inch. So I took a piece of, or maybe it's 7/8. I didn't. Well, hang on. We'll got a ruler right here. We'll measure. Yep, looks like the inside diameter of the black part is 1 inch. So I took a piece of 7/8 tubing and cut it off, and then slid it. If you can see the slit in there, and now it fits on there tight. And then when I clamp it down, it clamps down tighter. Now I don't know, because I just didn't want to try it, if I went ahead and screwed this down, if it would go ahead and go on down to 3/4, but I didn't want to chance it. So that's another thing that I think I'm going to work at today, because it's windy out. It's supposed to get up to about 80, but that's what they say. But it's kind of gloomy and windy, so might as well just work on this. But I thought that's something else I want to go ahead and get hooked up. I picked the airplane up and put it through some tires so it wasn't rolling around when I tried to get in there. But now I don't think I'll get in again until I go ahead and get the brakes on there. And then I can get in there and see if I can reach bulkhead B. I did, but I think I was reaching right above where the switch is, and I want to put it down underneath the rudder push rod there. So that's what's going on today. I'll get back with Paul there with the message. So hope everybody's doing good. My dad, of course, is still in rehab, and my sister's sciatic nerve thing is she's really, really doing better. So thanks to all for all your prayers. And of course, my mom's got back trouble, but I think she's got it under control now too. So please subscribe if you haven't. There you go, and God bless. Oh, and hit that like button.